Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey there, this is Pam Perry. Thank you for tuning in to Get Out There and Get Known podcast. We are live every week and also a podcast that pops in your email. If you go to pamperrypodcast.com, you can get the updates. But today I want to talk about the publicity mystery. How do you get out there? How do you get known? How do you get on into media places and on superstar stages? So I'm going to go over 3 tips today and give you some examples of certain things in real life when you see people like, how are they actually getting all that kind of press? So, as you know, I'm a publicity strategist and been doing this for 3 decades or so. And my firm, PamPerryPR.com, we've been doing this for mega stars for many years. And of course, it's easy to get publicity for T.D. Jakes, Dr. Cindy Trim. We did work with Dr. Miles Monroe. They're brand names. They already have a brand name. They came with the story. They came with the surety. They already came with basically exposure. And why does the media always like to talk about the people that already have a brand? You know, I have Ed Gordon here. You know, it's easy for Ed to get press for his book, right? Why? Well, he's been out there for a while. He's built up a platform. He has a message. So today I'm going to go over like 3 things that you really need. The publicity mystery. How does someone get out there and get known? Starting from ground zero, basically. Now, I'm not going to say that relationships matter. That's why people really hire publicists, because they have the relationships with the media. I just interviewed not too long ago Jill Day Foley, who was managing editor for the Michigan Chronicle, a friend of mine, and then her son, who is at, been Black Magazine, and he's in NABJ. A lot of my contacts come from friends from being a journalism major. I was in National Association of Black Journalists. So people that you know, you can call them up and you can talk to them, real deal, like what your story is and why you think they should cover you. But if you don't have that, what if you don't have that? What if you're just a speaker and you have a story, or I always do say speakers should have a book. So you should have a story. You should have it written down in the book. So I'll give you some examples. Becky, she was on the cover of Speakers Magazine, Becky A. Davis. She was on Fox Soul TV. Why? Because we did a press release. They saw her on the cover of Speakers Magazine. We released it. They called her. She got on. All right. Same thing with Dr. Will. He was on the cover of Speakers Magazine, wrote the story. His local TV station, I think it was the ABC affiliate, called him and he was on their show. Same thing with Judge. All right. She's on blacknews.com. That's where her story was. And she's been getting a lot of interviews. She was on one yesterday, because of the story. Now, they all are authors. They have a story. And depending when the media sees your release, if the story is something that intrigues them, they will call you. But most time, we have to pitch. Also, Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant. She was on the cover as well. We did a press release, and we actually pitched her out to different media, so she was on in there. So any of them, when you look and Google their names of Speakers Magazine, if you go to Speakers Magazine, you'll see the different covers that have had media because they were on covers, right? So that's one thing. But you have to know what to say, who to say it to, and when. And that's why I always call myself a PR angel, because I really help people manifest the media that they want. What to say, really the words come from in here. It's authentic. What to say, who to say it to, meaning like out of all the people that you know in the world, which media matches your message? And then when. Not when they're on deadline, but I usually have like an intuition of like when to call a particular media. So I'll give you an example. Valentine's Day is Saturday. All right, if you're watching this late or whatever, it's past. So hopefully you got something good. So Valentine's Day is Saturday. So I have a couple that I love, and they are married and they have a great love story. And I really felt that they should be on a big platform for Valentine's Day. They are such good role models, Juanita and Rudy Rasmus. So I said, I know Willie Jolly. I booked him before for some speaking engagements, but he has a number one radio show on Sirius XM. And I said, and he always does things. I know a little bit about his show. He always is very motivating, very positive, but him and his wife are a good example of also how love works. They have wrote a book about it, and they always do a lot of things. So anyway, so I said, well, let me reach out to him via email a particular day and said, would you be interested in interviewing Rudy and Juanita Rasmus? Well, after several emails back and forth, send me this information, who are they? You give them you give them the speaker reel, you give them the proper bio. They both have books, they have proper bios, photos, everything. So they're already at this point, when the media asks for certain things, you have to have those things already done. And that's where Ready, Set, Go, Speak really comes into play. How do you have the right materials in order to give the media what they're looking for? What does the one sheet look like? What do the photos look like? What do you say in a short bio, long bio? What does a pitch say? How do you pitch it? You need a speaker reel. How do you put that together? How do you put together your whole EPK, your whole electronic press kit? How does your website look? What are your social media? So that has to be together before you start really pitching, because they want to know that you're serious. And if you're not serious, then you need to get serious. Go to Ready, Set, Go, Speak, and then really learn the tools and the techniques of how to get all that together. Then you do the pitch. Do the pitch. And I actually give real people to pitch in every week in Ready, Set, Go, Speak. I give them real media to pitch. And if they need help with what to say, I can tell them what to say. A lot of it has to do with news cycle. So the news cycle for February was Black History Month. So anything, Judge Lloyd, because she's a history maker, she got a lot of that because of Black History Month. They're looking for unique Black history stories. So that was pretty much. And then like the Love Day. So you can go on news cycles. You can go on calendars. Those are the things where you're looking, where the media might be looking for stories. They're looking for so what to say. So the pitching is a big part of what I really go in depth about in Ready, Set, Go, Speak. Right now, I want them to learn how to say their story, how to build their story, how to build a brand story, how to really understand what it is that they're about, and then translate that messaging out to the media so that the media cares. Because there's nothing worse than writing a press release and then after reading it, you look at it and it's like, well, who cares? So you want to make sure that whenever you write a press release that someone can read it and says, okay, I can get this. I can care about this. So you want to, after you write your press release or your pitch, look at it and then say, who cares? And if you can answer that someone does care, then that's when you have enough pitch, not a fluff. The media hate fluff pieces. It's all about you, how wonderful you are. Da, da, da. It's a fluff piece. There's no news in it. Keyword in news, something new. New thought, new product, new way of doing something, new perspective, something new, newsworthy, knowing how to be newsworthy. I don't care if there are some boot camps out there say you get on TV in 5 days. If you're not newsworthy, you ain't going to get on TV, because they're in business for news. They're not in business for you. They're in business for news. They're not in business for you. Newsworthy. I don't care how confident you look, how cute you look, how well you sound, how well you sing. If there is nothing newsworthy, you're not going to get on the news. All right. I'm just the publicity mystery. That's really it. So how do you get on there? What are the real things? Messaging. We spend a lot of time on your messaging. So the more that you have in terms of, think about political campaign, or even think about someone who is running for a contest, Miss America, right? What is your platform? Because her platform is what she's going to message out. That's what she's going to be about. Or a campaign, someone who's running a campaign, the campaign manager is like, what is your messaging? What are the key things that you stand for? That's what you have to know inside and out. So when the media asks you questions, and it may be something that you really don't know, but you can go back and say, that's a really good question. But what I really like to say, because your messaging inside and out, what I really like to convey is, and you go back to your messaging. because your messaging is why you are going to be broadcasting to the world. Or to the journalists, print journalists. The last podcast I did, we talked about the Black press, which was really good. Then the last thing about having clarity. Having clarity and confidence is so important. In Ready, Set, Go, Speak, twice a month, we talk, I pull out of them the things that I see that they need to really shift in order to change, in order to get out there and get known. And I see them on Zoom, and I may even say, your background needs to be this, or your lighting needs to be this, because we're in that stage where we're not going, this is COVID, we're not going into TV studios right now. We've got to have that set looking like we're camera ready, and you need to be camera ready. They're not going to send out a makeup artist to your home and put up lights for you and set up mics. I do have one client that will be getting a kit, though. They're going to be on PBS, so PBS is sending a kit. So they will explain to her how to put that up. But the PBS is a whole nother animal. But in terms of you regular every day, getting on your local ABC, NBC, CBS stations, video shows, things like that, even as Roland Martin, you need to be camera ready. They don't want to see junk in the background. They don't want to be distracted. All right. So those are the things that we go over in detail. And I bring in guest experts and Ready, Set, Go, Speak. Because the publicity mystery is not going to stay a mystery if you have information. Information changes the seasons of your life. And you need someone who has been there, done that for a while and know what's tested and true. Because I find people got so caught up in the hype that they really don't get the help. I'm going to say that again. Some people are so caught up in the hype that they don't get the help. I have so many different people that have come to me after they've been burned from other people and say, they gave me all this great copy, all this great language. I went line, hook, and sinker for their sales page. But when I was in the program, I did not get what I needed. I said, well, let me see the sales letter. I said, oh, this is great copy. This is great copy. Too bad they couldn't teach you how to write that great copy for a pitch so that you can actually get on where you need to get on. So, like I said, as many times as if you can't hire publicists, you do need to learn how to do it yourself. A lot of it is built on relationships. We even talk in the program, the Ready, Set, Go, and membership, how to build relationships. It starts with building relationships with people around you. So in Ready, Set, Go, Speak, the people who build the relationships with each other are probably the people that are going to build relationships with the media, and they'll build more relationships. And it's all based on relationships. It really is. It's based on relationships. So you have to know how to talk to people, how to approach people. The key to networking is go give first. Give first. Don't take, give. And give with an authentic heart. And of course, people who you help who love to help you. Typically they would. If they're a taker, maybe they won't. But most people generally would. And so with media, there was a gentleman, Black magazine. I pitched him a story and I told him exactly what kind of story this would be good for his magazine. He says, you know what, that's really good. But he did a pivot on me. He said, what we really need is this type of story, but we don't have a large staff. I said, no problem. I said, I'll write the story for you. I said, I will write the story for you for his magazine. And it was something that he needed. I have skills, journalism skills. That's really all PR people are. They're journalists. So, I wrote the story. Now, the story that I pitched him, did he use it? No, but maybe next time. Not everything is going to be a yes. It could be just not right now. So it's not right now, but still build the relationship with people so that, I pitched Erica Campbell, Get Up with Erica Campbell. And it was a particular segment that I was thinking would be on there. Well, it was not right now, but it will be later. You have a dialogue and you keep in relationship with people. And that's really how it works. A lot of times when you see people that are on different shows, like I told you, like a lot of the different clients that I've had that have been on here is because they had this going out that was new and they had a press release, but it also was their story. So knowing your own messaging, knowing your brand story, getting in deep with it and understanding it and having it come through and through whenever you are in front of a camera or you're talking to a journalist. Have great stories. Judge Leanya Lloyd has the best stories. She has the best stories, and they're mesmerizing and captivating. Now, I will say this, that her first career, she was an English teacher, so she can write, and she also was a drama teacher, so she has the presence and how to tell a story. But if you don't have that, if you're coming from another space and you don't have, it's like, oh my God, I don't have any of those type of communication skills. That's when you get into a membership community so you can learn it and level up in that. So Ready, Set, Go, Speak is that type of thing that helps you level up and learn the skills that you would need in order to get out there and get known. It's very, very simple once you know it, I guess you would say. So let me go over it. Relationships is key, is number one. Publicity mystery. If you know someone who knows Oprah, you're in there, right? If you know someone that knows someone, you're in there. If you know someone that knows someone that knows someone. But the first thing is you have to be newsworthy. And knowing what's newsworthy is really knowing your messaging and making sure you match your message with that particular medium. It is very, very key. And knowing the news cycles. Like I said, we've placed a lot of stories Black History Month and also for Valentine's Day because of the news cycle, what they were looking for. Knowing your story and knowing how to tell stories. And I will say this too. When you are telling a story, knowing how to be really short with it so that it can be a dialogue with the interviewer. So I'd say, they said, oh, okay, tell me the story, and you go on maybe longer than 5 minutes, and maybe the segment is only a half an hour. You've spent 5 minutes on one segment, and you've got 30 minutes, and so you can't really get into a whole lot of other things. So you want to learn how to make your stories 2 minutes, and we coach you on how to do that. It's media coaching that we teach you how to do that, because I will say, nope, cut, nope, make it shorter, get to the point. We don't have an hour, we only have a few. So the other part is pitching, brevity. If you listen to any of the Get Out There, Get Known podcasts, journalists after journalists, they said they may get 30, 40, 50, 100 emails a day, and they can't read them all, especially they're not going to read them all if they're long. 2 paragraphs max. Right? Bullet points are a bonus because that's even better. This is why I think I should be on your show, or this is why I think you should interview me, A, B, and C. And that's the messaging that you will learn how to, once you actually know your brand story, how to message that out really fluidly. Often, watch, rinse, and repeat, and get on TV, radio, in print magazines over and over again, because you've learned a system. You've been part of that, and you're accustomed to it, and you'll have the confidence and the clarity. And if you have confidence and clarity, you can just go and do it. All right. So know what to say, who to say it to. Who to say it to is almost like, who do I talk to? I want to be on national news. Well, before we go national, let's start with your local. Let's start then regional. Let's bubble up to the national. So one of the things, I had a client that was on CNN and also on Good Morning America, but they're topical, not just because they were on there because of who they were, but the topic. And they also had receipts for other things. They did a TED Talk. So sometimes by doing a TED Talk, even though you don't get paid for TED Talks, it is a very good link to send to a TV station, especially a national one. So before, and then if the TED Talk goes to the main stage, that's even better. So sometimes when you see, well, you can get on TV in 5 days, well, I'd like to see that. Being a publicist for 3 decades, right? The only person that I know can get on 5 days is someone that is already branded. Michelle Obama, someone that's already branded. But someone that's coming out of the blue that no one's ever heard of, and your stuff isn't together, no, that's not going to happen. That's just great sales copy. And you're buying the hype and you won't really get the help. Okay, that is the dog. So that's Peppy Perry. So we will be talking more about this, about really the publicity mystery. And in Ready, Set, Go, Speak, I go into this a lot deeper. And I really want people to understand that it's not necessarily Rodney Burris. He's in our program and he's getting a lot of shine. Why? Because I've given him leads and telling him what to say. So he's got media leads. He knows what to say, and he's watch, rinse, repeat. And he is being seen everywhere, right? And it's bubbling up because each media piece, that's the other thing. Once you do get media, how do you leverage it for the next and the next and the next? That's the beauty of it. And that's where a PR angel kind of helps you with that, where you could just know how to manifest more media because they're telling you how to really structure it and how to really position it and how to pitch it so that it grows like a snowball. Like a snowball, it just grows and grows and grows the more that you push it. So that's the beauty of it. And once you get publicity, it's easy for you to get booked on superstar stages because it's like, I've heard of them. I've seen them. I saw them on this show. I heard about them in this magazine. I saw them on Fox Soul. I saw them on ABC. I saw them on Madame Noir. I saw them on Blavity. They will then see you over and over again. And that's what a campaign does. A campaign. Alison Bond is another one where she had a great run right after the inauguration with her event that she did. And so then she was on this show and that show. She was on Black News Channel and she got national press over and over again and some local press as well that just bubbled up and made it more so because what she was really promoting was her brand, which is her TV show, which is the Alison Bond show. So all of that kind of worked together, but it was part of that news cycle. So if this all sounds kind of like foreign, like, oh my God, that's just so much. It's not a lot. Go to Ready, Set, Go Speak. We go over this. We'll help you get it together. And it's really fun. It really is. It's a lot of fun. And once you get the hang of it, you'll be like, oh, I wish I would have went to that Pam Perry a long time ago. All righty. So thank you. And I will talk to you later. Make sure you subscribe and share this out. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast brought to you by PamPerryPR.com, where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where you help you shine like a superstar.